Do you know you could be taking a deduction of upwards of $12,900 per child per year simply by hiring your children to work inside of your business? In this video, I will be teaching you step by step how to properly hire your kids and keep the money in the family like the wealthy people do. Before we jump in, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any business changing information. And here's the thing, if you stay until the end, I will teach you how to get the cost of your kids' extracurricular activities written off as a tax deduction. So now let's get after it. Legacies literally are built by passing wealth down from one generation to the next generation. Putting your kids to work in your business is one of the fastest ways to teach your kids about money, get them financially savvy. I want to give you 10 tips to make sure you hire your kids the right way inside of your business so that you can start doing what the wealthy people do. The first thing you want to do when you hire your children is have a job description, because we're taking a deduction that may be questioned by IRS, right? So when you hire regular employees or you go work for an employer, you have a job description. So make sure you have a job description for hiring your children. The second thing is become an employer. That means you have to go to the State Employment Development Department and register yourself as an employer. In the state of California, we register with the Employment Development Department, or the EDD. So make sure you register yourself as an employer and get an employer account number so that you can make sure that you are a legitimate employer. Number 3, follow all the labor laws. Even if you're employing your own children, you have to follow the rules. So make certain that you follow the labor laws, make certain that you order your labor posters, make certain that you do everything that a normal employer would do. Number 4, make sure the wages that you pay your children are reasonable for the work that's being done. And you might be thinking to yourself, Carla, what type of wages should I pay my kids? What can my kids do? I want you guys to think about commercials, right? Think about kids in commercials. You can use your kids' likeness, their look, inside of your advertisement. If your business appeals to families, if your kids are smart enough to be on the computer, they can do a lot of things for you. Just make sure whatever you pay your children matches up to the job description. Make sure that the pay is reasonable for the work that is being done. We don't want your kid emptying trash and getting $5,000 a week for emptying trash, because if they are, I want you to hire me for that job, right? So we want to make sure that the compensation is reasonable for the work that is being done. Number 5, make sure the money goes to the kids. What do I mean by that? Make sure that the money changes hands. Many of you are putting your kids on payroll and doing documentation, but the money never leaves your business account and never makes it over to the kids' bank account. You actually have to move the money. The kids actually have to get paid. So make sure that you are paying your children via a paycheck. Write the check just like you get paid, have them deposit into their bank account or go direct deposit into their bank account. But it's important that the money moves hands. Number 6, do all the proper withholding if it's applicable. Now, if you are in an LLC and you are paying your children from ages 1 through 17, you don't have to withhold Social Security and Medicare tax. When you are Schedule C, when you're in a single member LLC, you don't have to withhold that tax. But if your children are older than 17, they're 18 and above, you do have to withhold Social Security and Medicare tax. So you have to make certain that you're doing the proper tax withholding. That's really important. Number 7, make the tax deposits. If you are withholding taxes from your employees, whether they're your children or someone else, you gotta make the tax deposits. And when I say make the tax deposits, remember when you work for an employer and they withheld out of your paycheck your federal withholding, your state withholding, your portion of Social Security and Medicare, your employer sent that money to IRS. Your employer sent that money to Social Security. They sent the money to your state revenue revenue department. So when you are an employer and you withhold taxes, you have to remit that tax money over to IRS and do it correctly. And if you're brand new, you're going to do it once a month on the 15th of every month. Number 8, keep excellent records of how much you are paying your employees. I recommend getting a payroll service, but you don't have to get a payroll service if you yourself can keep really good records. You want to make sure your employees have a pay schedule. Are you paying them weekly? Are you paying them bi-weekly? Are you paying them every 2 weeks? Make sure that there is a pay schedule and that you are keeping really good records as to how you are paying them. Make sure you're jotting it down and make sure you know exactly how much they are making. Number 9, file the payroll tax returns. When you are paying your employees, even if they are your minor children, you are an employer. Employers have to file payroll tax returns. Payroll tax returns is a return that tells IRS how much you paid your employees in wages. It shows what the withholding was out of their paychecks. It shows how much you're supposed to remit to IRS. So make sure you file the payroll tax return. And number 10, make sure your kid files their income tax return. Now, when you're paying your minor children, and you can pay your minor children up to $12,900, are they gonna have to pay income tax? Probably not. But it's one thing not to pay income tax, something else not to have a filing requirement. Your kid is going to need to file a tax return. So make sure they file their tax return, reporting their W-2 wages based on how much you paid them. But here's the thing, when you are putting your kids on payroll, it has to be your children that are on payroll if they're going to be your kids, right? Your minor children. Now you can pay other individuals. You can pay nieces and nephews and mamas and daddies and grandmamas and nanas. You can pay anybody you want. But when you pay other people, you have to take the proper withholding out of their paychecks. So that's very important. I tell you that if you stay to the end, that I would tell you how to get the extracurricular activities written off for your children. When you are putting your kids on payroll and you have your kids in kids club, football, hockey practice, whatever it is that they do, you can pay your child enough money so that they can pay for their own hockey practice. Let them pay for their football fees. Let them pay for their trips so you can get their extracurricular activities deducted. You pay them on payroll. You're taking a deduction on your tax return as wages because you're utilizing them in their business, and they take that money, buy their school clothes, pay for their cell phone bill, pay for everything that they bug us for, right? Exactly. I love this stuff. That's why when you know better, you absolutely have to do better. That's why I want you to like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep you updated on all things tax.